Your heart is a muscle, as well as the vital organ that pumps our circulatory system. In the US last year, there were 932,000 deaths reported of various health-related problems. Therefore, we talk about heart health, maintaining a good balance, eating right, and doing cardio exercise. But there can be more than this. At times, we also talk about those who died of a broken heart. I had even witnessed this myself with a pair of pets, one very healthy and passing within 2 days of the other for no other apparent reason. Symbolically, we speak of the heart as the seat of the soul, love, and emotions. This aspect of heart is the master organ in the body of Christ. I have often said in many of my talks that all things made physically manifest contain the divine spark of God through creation. Therefore, we are all members in the body of Christ not only by what we are made of, but also by what we hold therein. And this body also extends through all time, uniting us all, not only with each other, but also with all those who have gone before us. We Orthodox hold to the reality of the physical presence of the body and blood in the sacrament of communion. And when we partake of his body and blood, this enters all of our body by way of the digestive system, sanctifying every minute part of us. This can be the most intimate of acts, when his body and blood merge with ours and in reality become a part of us. This can be thought of as one part of theosis, or the divinization of man. This has always been a core belief in the Church. Recent surveys of the Catholics show an alarming 1/3 of them actually doubt this or think of it only in symbolic ways. I couldn't find any surveys on the Orthodox. I would like to say this does not exist in Orthodoxy, but perhaps there are some who think only in symbolic ways or take the subject too lightly. One should never partake, merely thinking it is an expected part of participation in the divine liturgy. To deny the reality or to partake so lightly is in fact an affront to the Lord himself, for which there could be effects later within the individual. Through the sacrament, the Lord physically enters the body that has opened itself emotionally, mentally, and spiritually in preparation. It is said that there is a symbolic chamber there in our hearts with a throne. Now, this chamber is not something that can be found by an anatomist, but within this chamber is a throne that only the Lord himself can sit upon. This place is for him alone. Sadly, there are those who would put there instead other things that they hold as most important to them. What is in your heart is what you think, how you feel, and what you do. This too is part of having and maintaining a healthy heart. For some who would abuse this, serious illness can come of the body and of the heart, the soul, or the mind. Therefore, it is important to vigilantly take care of the physical heart and body as well as the spiritual. Holding the wrong things in that sacred chamber that do not belong there is to put everything out of balance, for which there is a cost. Far too often, these things are personal desires of the ego, or things of a physical nature that are merely transient, here today and gone tomorrow. You can't take any of those with you on the day that we pass. And if they have contributed to you being less than whole, then that is what you are and what you get in the end. Quite sad indeed. And this at times can be quite evident in the various types of people we encounter. And while I speak here of the reality of the sacrament, the same is also true of all things that we hold in this Holy of Holies. This determines the kind of person that you are, how you view the world, those around you, and ultimately your very thoughts and actions. For where your heart is, there also is your treasure. No one has ever gone forward believing otherwise. You may think that you do. It might even appear that way for a while. But in the end, no one can get ahead in this way. There are even those right now who would think they are justified, they are the justified and sacred guardians of truth, while at the same time only use this to convince themselves and maybe others, but are narrow, small-minded purveyors of legalism and intellectualism that serve their own needs and are devoid of the very gospel they do not live or preach. Take a good look in the mirror. Take your own inventory. I do not need to name you. You know yourselves. And so I ask you, how healthy is your heart? Your heart is a muscle, and what does it flex? But as many of you as have put on Christ, alleluia.